Hello and welcome to Trendline Times, your trusted voice on global news simplified. I'm Uma and today we are turning our spotlight to a conflict that has shaken the world for over 2 years now, the Russia-Ukraine war. What started back in early 2022 as a military invasion has now become one of the longest and most complex wars in Europe since World War II. But what's really happening today in Ukraine? Why does this war still continue? And how is it affecting the rest of the world, including you and me? In this video, I will break it all down for you. A quick look at how the war started, what the situation is like on the ground right now, the role of countries like the US, NATO and China, and how this war could shape the future of global politics, the economy, and world peace. We will keep things clear, factual, and easy to understand. So, if you want to know why Ukraine is still fighting, how Russia is responding, and what this all means for the world in 2025, stay with me till the end. I'm Uma and this is Trendline Times. Let's begin. To understand what's happening today, we need to go back to 2014. That year, Russia annexed Crimea, a part of Ukraine. They said it belonged to them, but Ukraine and most of the world said it was illegal, it was an invasion. And then things escalated in eastern Ukraine. Pro-Russian groups wanted to break away and Russia supported them. Ukraine tried to hold the region. The West tried diplomacy, but tensions only grew. Then came February 24, 2022, the day everything changed. Russia launched a full-scale invasion. Tanks crossed borders. Cities were bombed. And millions of Ukrainians' families, just like yours and mine, had to flee. That's when the war truly began. This is not just a story about Ukraine, it's a story about the whole world. A war that started in 2022 is still going on in 2025. Why did Russia attack Ukraine? What has happened and how is this war affecting people across the planet? Ukraine's interest in joining NATO was a turning point. Russia strongly opposed it and that's when the war truly began. Let's see what happened in the war. Right now, Russia controls most of a region called Donetsk in eastern Ukraine. Russian soldiers are planning a big attack this summer to take the rest of it. The Ukrainian army is fighting back, but it's hard because Russia has more weapons and soldiers. Russia first tried to capture Kyiv, the capital city of Ukraine, but Ukrainian soldiers and everyday people fought back. In the northeast, near a place called Sumy, Russia has taken control of 4 small villages. They say this is to stop attacks from Ukraine, but Ukraine says Russia is taking more land. Ukraine got help from countries like the USA, UK, Germany and Poland. They sent money, food, weapons and hope. Kyiv was not captured. Many cities in East Ukraine were taken by Russia. Millions of people left their homes. Over 5 lakh people died or got injured. In 2023, Ukraine tried to take land back but it was hard. In 2025, Russia still controls part of Donetsk, Luhansk and the south. How people suffered. Over 8 million people left Ukraine as refugees. Many Ukrainian families lost their homes. Some children haven't gone to school in years. In Russia too, many young men were forced to join the army. Their families don't know if they will come back. Some lost everything, homes, jobs, even family. Russian families also lost sons and fathers in the war. This war is not only about land, it's about life. The war may be political, but the pain is very personal. How this war affects everyone. Now you might be thinking, Uma, this is sad and serious, but how does it affect me? Totally fair question. Here's how. Energy prices went up because Europe used to rely on Russian gas. Food prices spiked because Ukraine is a top exporter of wheat and corn. Inflation got worse globally. And governments everywhere are now spending more on military and less on people-focused programs like healthcare or education. Even if we don't live in Ukraine or Russia, this war affects our lives through our economy, our politics, and even our sense of safety. What is the outcome so far? So after 3 years, what has happened? There is no real winner. Russia did not take over all of Ukraine. Ukraine did not push Russia out completely. Thousands of soldiers and civilians have died. Cities are broken. People are tired. Some say Russia is weaker than before. Others say Ukraine is stronger. But the truth is, everyone has lost something. What's next? So, what does the future look like? Some experts say the war could last years. Others believe peace talks might eventually happen, not because the sides agree, but because the costs are too high to continue. There are also fears of cyber warfare or the conflict spreading to the neighboring countries. But there is also hope that global pressure and peace movements can push both sides to the table. And that's something we will keep covering right here. So what began as a political conflict over NATO and borders has now become one of the most devastating wars of our time with no clear end in sight. The Russia-Ukraine war isn't just about two countries. It's about global power, economic pressure, and the future of peace and security for all of us. As we move through 2025, the world continues to watch, hoping for a solution but preparing for the long haul. Thank you for staying with me till the end. I'm Uma and this has been Trendline Times, where we break down global events that matter clearly and honestly. If you found this video helpful, informative, or worth sharing, please like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with stories that shape our world. Until next time, stay informed, stay aware, and stay safe.